Welcome back to Your Hour. Joining me now is Vanessa Perez, and she is the Director of Outpatient Behavioral Health at Mental Health America, South Central Kansas. That's such a mouthful.
It is, I agree. And, Mental Health Association was so long that it takes a lot of people time to readjust
Yeah.
to being America.
Yeah, and I screw up a lot. So you are the Director of the Outpatient Behavioral Services.
Yes.
So what kind of services do you?
So as a whole MHA, we have over 30 programs, but within our outpatient clinic, we offer medication management services, outpatient therapy services. We also have substance services for those struggling with substance use, and then we have our Betters Intervention program. We have also expanded some of our medication services. We offer some time-limited primary care, so helping those individuals that maybe don't have a primary care home to be able to be seen and just checked out, and then assist them with getting connected with a primary home.
Okay. Yeah, I know you have, MHA has a lot of resources, a lot of different groups that you work with, so that you can help refer people where they really need to be.
Yes, exactly. I think that's one of our big things at MHA is we love to partner with community agencies just to be able to have as many supports as possible for our community.
So groups do you offer?
So we offer substance groups. Currently we have one that runs in the evening from about 4:30 to 6, and that is an in-person group. We also offer a trauma group, which is really exciting. It originally was kind of a DBT type group, and it limited the people that could be referred. We've expanded that to be more of a general mental health group related to trauma, and so that would open it up for more people to be able to benefit.
Yeah.
And then we also have our Betters Intervention groups. We offer 4 of those a week and just on a consistent basis. And we have many psychosocial groups that we offer in our main location.
When you talk about batterers, are you trying to help the people that are prone to be batterers, or trying to help people cope with a situation that they find themselves in?
That's a great question. So it's actually working with the individuals that have violence in their relationship. And so typically the individuals that come for our Betters Intervention are sent over because of court proceedings that have occurred, and they've been asked to be evaluated to see if this program would benefit them. So it's really about teaching individuals, how do you have healthy relationships without the use of violence?
So does that ever overlap with things like anger management and things like that?
Kind of. It's been found that anger management is actually not a very effective form of intervention to help individuals. So it's really been more, Betters Intervention really, I think, trumps anger management in all honesty, because it really covers lots of different aspects, not just, okay, this is the event that happened that led you here, but it's also, let's explore what's happened in your life that has led you to use violence in your relationships. So it really drills down to the core of what drives the need to use violence.
Well, and a lot of times, I think it's the way they've been brought up, that was the type of parenting that was exhibited when they were children.
Absolutely. That is definitely a common theme that we hear from individuals that participate. Yes. So, it kind of goes back to trauma, right? Yeah. I think that's one of the things I'm proud of is our clinic. We do offer a lot of trauma services. We are very trauma informed, but we have specialized therapy services that work specifically with individuals that have experienced trauma, whether it's complex trauma or just maybe one event that was traumatic that they need to work through. We have a therapist that is certified as an EMDR therapist, and then we have an ART, which is accelerated resolution therapy. They're kind of sister type modalities, but they are specific to working with individuals and helping them process their trauma so that they can move forward and not be stuck in that.
Well, it's really debilitating. If you can't work through the trauma, you really can't move forward.
Exactly. Absolutely. And then that's when people start having a lot of struggles, right?
Mhm.
You have to be able to move forward to grow and learn
Yeah.
and, all those things.
Well, and many times, if they're able to work through the trauma, then maybe they can stop the cycle.
Yes, absolutely. And it's about learning it too, right? I
Mhm.
think a lot of people don't recognize that our traumas do guide our behaviors, right? I think the belief is, oh, that was in the past. I've moved on. I'm an adult now. It doesn't affect me, but it does.
Yeah, sure it does.
And they're surprised to learn, wow, this is partly due to what I've experienced.
Yeah, because when you're brought up that way, you look at it as normal because you figure everybody is brought up that way.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think it's important to try to stop the cycle, because if we can stop the cycle, then we don't have all these kinds of problems in the future. We'll have new ones, but we won't have that one.
Right, exactly. Well, and you change the trajectory, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about kind of, this family system cycles that happen and generational type of situations. And so if you're the one that says, hey, this stops here with me, right, then you learn the new ways to pass on to your children, so that it does end that, and they learn new ways.
Yeah, yeah, because there's always a better nonviolent way to deal with something. Always.
Absolutely, always. Yes, I would agree.
Mental health is such an important part of our lives, because if you have a brain, you're going to experience mental or bad, and it might be something that's chronic, or it might be something that comes and goes. But it's important to find the tools that help you deal with it.
Yes, absolutely. And I would say in our outpatient clinic, we see the gamut, right? We serve with an MHA individuals from 3 years old all the way up to 99.
Yeah.
Right. And we see the gamut of need, right? There's people that have very severe mental illness that we support to try to help them maintain stability and, community tenure. And then we have individuals that are coming because, hey, they've had the one event, right? Maybe this is their first time experiencing any kind of mental health struggles. And so we are able to support anybody, no matter where they're at or what struggles they've had with their mental health. And
I know that the cost of therapy does not have to be a reason that you don't get it.
Absolute student clinic that helps with that. We operate it on a sliding scale, and so it's really beneficial for those that maybe don't have insurance at the moment and still need that support. We absolutely are there to offer that.
Well,